Hi, it's Sean Havens with the Benefit Haven. I'm doing this as a follow-up to the previous video as more of a deeper dive into why I believe it's so important to have a system and to understand where you're at and be real and honest with yourself and see if this actually works, making the phone calls work, and really identifying if the phone, you making the calls actually is cost effective or not, because it doesn't actually cost you anything out of pocket right away to make calls, even if it's cold calls, but what is it costing you? And that's really what I want to go over with you right now. So this is why this here, the phone calls, they suck, okay? This is why we're doing the preset package and why it's been so successful for me, because there are people that don't mind getting on the phone, okay? But usually insurance agents, they do mind. And that's why we have this problem, 90% of agents failing. So let's go through this, okay? Is phone calling free? So we want to answer that question. It may be a weird question to you, but because you're not actually putting out any money, but is it free? What is it costing you to actually sit down 2 or 3 days a week in a call room, in your house, whatever the case may be, wherever you're calling from, sit down and call? Okay, what does it cost you? Two things. It's costing you not being in front of somebody, making sales, and it's also costing you what's called mental cost. And that's where I believe most agents exit the business, because of the mental cost that is involved with making phone calls. So let's take a look. Okay, what is the mental cost? This is where most agents quit. Okay, I've had agents go through the contracting process, do all the things that they need to do, train, do all this stuff, and then get on the phone, go to lunch, and I never see them again. Okay? That's how phones can be. That's how they can get to people. And they get to most people. Even the best of the best, they get to you. Okay? So I know that it's important. I'm not saying that it's not important. Somebody has to do it. But as far as you doing it yourself and doing it as the primary focus or way to get appointments, what is it costing you mentally? Are you able to do it? Are you able to continue to do it day after day, week after week to get your appointments? So double rejection, what does that mean? So the first thing is going to be, you're going to get rejection on the phone, obviously. Okay, so you're going to have so many calls, so many contacts, and you're going to get a lot of rejection. Okay, they're not rejecting you specifically, right? Don't take it personal, but you are getting rejection. You're getting no. You're getting maybe go to hell. You're getting, stop calling me, take me off your list. Whatever the case may be, maybe they're even worse, and I've heard worse. But you're getting rejection on the phone. Okay, so that's the first place, and then you're going to go get it out in the field, right? So you're going to get rejection whether you're at the door and you can't get in. You're going to get rejection if you ask them to buy. If you're going through your whole presentation, this business is all full of rejection, right? So you're going to get rejection left and right, and we take that because the more rejection we get, the more success we have. Okay, it sounds funny, but that's the way it works. So where do you want to get your rejection? Where do you want to place your mental cost as far as rejection goes? If you do it in the phone, again, you just have to know that that's where most agents go to fail. Okay, is they start off on the phone, they hit it hard, maybe a week or 2 weeks in the phone, and then how many make it out? Well, if you look it up, my experience has been 10% or 1 out of 10 make it out. So double rejection, getting rejected on the phone and also out in the field. So getting ready to get ready. What is that? You probably know what it is already. Getting ready to get ready is getting into the office, not planning the day before, and getting in and kind of getting all your stuff situated, all the appointments that you ran before, and your filing cabinet and all the stuff. You're getting ready to get ready, which means you don't get on the phone at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock whenever it's okay for you to get on the phone in your area. You wait, and you do everything possible that gets in the way of you getting on the phone. Why? Because phone calls suck, right? Nobody wants to make it. So you're getting ready to get ready. Maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock rolls around, and you pick up the phone, you make your first call, okay? And the call, it's a rejection. So they're telling you that, you can go to hell or whatever the rejection is that you get. and now that sends you into a bad mood, and you take it personal, and now it takes you until the afternoon to get on the phone and make more calls, right? This is sometimes how it goes. Maybe you can get through 5 or 6 rejections before moving to getting upset, okay? So very few agents I've found are able to just pick up the phone dial, and just keep going, next, 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 right? That's what we say, and that's what you should do, but how many people actually do it, right? So if that's not you, it's a recipe for failure, because you may be able to get over it, but chances are it's going to end in you not being able to be successful, because again, 90% of agents fail if they can't get this, if they can't do it. And that's why the numbers are the way they are. Okay, so getting ready to get ready is something that a lot of agents do. I see it all the time. I've ran phone rooms. It's just all over the place. Okay, so then you feel like what? At the end of the day, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, you're going home, you've made maybe 5, 10 calls, but you told your sales manager you made 100 calls and nobody was picking up. You just get answer machines, everybody's saying no, disconnected numbers, whatever you want to say, but the fact is, if you make the calls, you make the appointments. So as a sales manager knows that I know, and you know, that the calls probably just weren't made. Okay, so then you go home, it's a wasted day, because you didn't make appointments, right? Because that's what we go to the office to make appointments on appointment days, to make appointments. So it's a wasted day if we end up not having it. So this is your mental cost. If you do that enough, it's going to get to you. Okay. Again, some people make it out, but that's what happens, and that's where we see agents screaming for the doors. I've seen it the first day, after a week. I've seen somebody make it a year doing this system, but usually it's not much longer than that. Okay. Now, what are your numbers? Do you know your numbers? Have you sat down and figured out how many calls you need to make to get how many contacts to get how many appointments? Have you figured it out yet? Okay. So this is very important that you know what those are, and are you hitting them? Most agents don't know the numbers; they have no clue. Right? They're just shooting from the hip. I'm going to go and I'm going to call today. But good agents, successful agents, have systems, and they know their numbers, they have their goals, and they hit them. Okay? And if that's what you're doing, then congratulations. You're probably in that 10%. But if you don't know what your numbers are, you're probably not hitting them because you don't know what you are, which means you settle. Okay? So that's usually what happens. I'm going to settle for 1, 0, 2 appointments on the entire office day because I don't have a number goal, right? So I can't be accountable to that number or to those goals. So you're probably not hitting them. Maybe you are, okay? But if you're not, this is why I created this system, because this system makes sure that those numbers are being hit, okay? That's what this system does. The preset appointment system that you own, make sure that you have somebody doing this for you so you're on the field making money, okay? Let's break it down. So I just put some numbers up here, 150 calls, and this is maybe an average. If you make 150 calls in a day, you probably get 1 out of every 3 picking up, maybe 4, okay, so it's maybe a little generous as far as numbers go. So a third of people pick up, so you got 50 contacts. And if you're making cold calls, you're probably at an 8-to-1, maybe a 6-to-1 if you're good ratio. Maybe you're better, okay, and if you're better, again, you're probably in that 10%. but 50 contacts, 7 appointments. If you're doing this, then you're hitting your numbers in 2 days. Okay, 15 appointments, 14 appointments in 2 days that you're making, and you're running 14 appointments a week. That's good, but you're probably doing that, you're probably having a 6-day work week. Okay, so if you have 14 appointments, it's hard to fit them all into a 3-day period. So let's say Monday or Wednesday are your call days, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are your field days. You got to fit 14 appointments in 3 days, which can be done, but it's a lot to fit in 3 days, so you end up working on Saturday. Again, if you leverage your time and you have somebody else making these calls for you, you're on the field 5 days a week or 6 days a week if you want, but you have 3 to 5, 4 to 5 appointments every day if you have 15 to 20 appointments a week, right? So not to mention, if you want to cut that down and only work 3 days, because this system is a 3-day-a-week system, right, in the field. So if you want to work 3 days a week in the field and have a caller calling for you, you just freed up 2 days. That's freedom. That's time that you can do something else, right? So that's the beauty of it. And now you're not running somebody else's system, you're running your system. And that's what the preset appointment system is all about, is that you own a system that you control, and now you're not being under the control of somebody else's system, right? So that system, it works for the companies, right? And I'm not bagging on any companies or anything because they've been around and they're doing well, but is it working for you? That's the question, because it can work well for them, but if it's not working well for you, then we gotta find a better system, right? You gotta do something that makes you successful. You gotta do something that separates you from everybody else that's not being successful. That's what successful people do. That's what the agents of the top 10% of all agents are doing. They're working hard, they got a great attitude, and they have a system that works for them, and they work that system. They know their numbers, and they're hitting their numbers. Okay, so that's what this whole system is designed to help you do. And it's yours, and you own it. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so you can control your schedule, and that's one of the reasons you probably got in the business, to be able to control your schedule and have the freedom to do the things that you want to do. Soccer games, baseball games, trips, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever you like to do. It frees you up to be able to do those things. The last thing I want to mention is the financial cost. Okay, what is it costing you to be in the office making calls instead of out there making money, right? So this, again, you have to know your numbers, and this goes with the field day. How many appointments do you have? Out of how many appointments you have, how many people do you sit down with and see? Out of how many interviews do you have to make your sale, right? So if you're doing, let's say you have 14, let's get a pen that works. Say you have 14, okay, and then you see, let's say you see 10 of those, and out of those 10, let's say you have a 30% close ratio, okay? It is what it is. That's 3, right? So in 3 days, running 14 appointments, seeing 10, having 3 sales, let's say each sale is $500. $500. That means you make $1,500 in a week, right? Now, what if you could multiply that number by 5, okay, times 500. Now you're looking at $2,500 a week. So now it's costing you, with these numbers, it's costing you $1,000 a week to sit in the office making calls. Again, that's why this preset system is so powerful, because it gets you out there, and even if some of that cost goes to paying for appointment setters, look, you can pay an appointment setter with less than $1,000 a week. A lot less than $1,000 a week, and a lot less than buying any of your leads. And now you get more renewals. Now it compounds over time, and now you can start to see where this money comes from, right? So, and that's all if you're getting 7 appointments with your own calls. So you can see where this goes. $2,500 a week, that's $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year. Now we're talking about the 10% of agents in this business that see the beauty and all it has to offer with that 6-figure income. So now I want to move on to the next category, which is buying expensive leads. But I do want to leave up the phone call sucks, because they do suck. All right, so I'm going to leave that up there for you just as a reminder. And we're going to move on to buying expensive, usually they say exclusive leads, right? So most lead companies, what they do is they say they have exclusive leads, and they charge you more for them, and then after 24 hours or a week or so, they'll resell them. And they resell them not to one person, but to usually several different agents. So your initial lead cost is for an exclusive lead that if you don't get them right away, then they're going to be sold again. So usually $20 to $40, maybe you can get them for $15, but any decent quality lead, you're going to spend anywhere from $20 to $40 per lead, okay? So let's say you get 20 leads a week. Maybe that's your budget, right? So 20 leads a week. If on the low end, you're paying $20 per lead, you're getting 20, and then you're paying $400 a week, $1,600 a month for your leads, right? So you got your 20 leads, and out of your 20 leads, you're able to contact 12. Okay, maybe you door knock the other ones, whatever the case is, or maybe you're competing with other agents, or you call and say, I'm already taken care of, or I'm not interested in that, I just mail it to me, whatever it is. And, oh, thanks for, I just paid $20 for, for your contact information, and now I'm supposed to mail it to you. So, yeah, that's not, to me, a great scenario. I've done it myself, so it's not, to me, it's not the way to really go about being successful. But if you're doing it right now, let's continue to break this down. So 12 contacts out of those 20 leads, 6 appointments. That's 50%. And if you're buying these type of leads, hopefully you have a 50% close ratio for your contacts. So if not, I'm being generous for you. So 6 appointments. Now, I've never known any agent that has seen 100% of their appointments that they set. So you're probably going to see about 4 of those, 6, maybe 5 if you're lucky. And so that's interviews. So I call them interviews, sit-downs. And out of those 4, you may write 1. 2 is a 50% close ratio, which is good. If you've been in the business a while, you're probably there. But in the beginning, you're probably 1 to 2. So if we're looking at the sales, the commission on each sale, you can probably figure out, if you know your numbers, what the commission is per sale that you do, the average. So we did 500 before, so we'll keep it at 500. So 500 to $1,000. Now, if you're only making $500 and you're paying $400 for your leads, you're making $100 a week. Okay, nobody can live off that, right? If you're doing 1,000 a week minus your 400, now you're making 600. That's not counting any chargebacks or anything. Now you're at $2,400 in submitted commission per month. Okay, again, I said in my last video, I wouldn't do this business for $2,000 a month. There's too much rejections, it's too hard, and it just wouldn't happen. I'm in it for the 6 figures plus, right? So again, so buying expensive, exclusive leads, this is what you usually end up with. Maybe you're doing some cold calling as well, door knocking, spending your valuable time prospecting when you could be out there making money. So what we do is we eliminate those leads. Never buy a lead again. You don't have to buy leads, right? So all these same people that send in all this stuff, and by the way, if they're sending information, they're probably sending it to multiple people, which means they're multiple marketing agencies. So maybe they're exclusive that you buy it from this company, but maybe another company got it as well and sold it to another agent, right? Because people that send in snail mail for leads or go on Facebook or whatever and do apply for information, they're doing that not just to one person. So the exclusiveness just went down for you. So again, you're competing, they're expensive, and you don't really need to do that, okay? So not anymore. It used to be a necessity, but not anymore. So again, with the preset system, we eliminate all that, and you're still contacting the same people, and maybe you're even getting to them before these guys are that are buying them, right? You're still contacting them. I would rather see somebody that isn't looking, but still needs stuff, okay? Because with a few questions, I could get them to see that they need stuff. Most of our prospects that we see are going to have some gaps in their retirement, either in retirement or their retirement planning. And I'm going to find them, okay? And that's where our membership comes in too. So anyway, you have the expensive leads, how it breaks down. If you're running that system right now, you know it's expensive. I cannot tell you how many agents that have sat in front of me in interviews telling me, hey, I love your preset system. Okay, I'm buying these leads. I had an agent pay up to $100 a lead. They were annuity leads, but $100 a lead. That's expensive. And if you're just treading water, that's not what this business is all about, and that's not what you should look forward to in the business either. So again, going back to the preset appointment system, you're going to eliminate buying those leads. You're going to see more people. You're going to have a lot more of these numbers, and you're not going to be doing it yourself, right? You're going to have somebody doing it for you, leveraging your time, getting the appointments from 6 to 15 to 20, seeing anywhere from 10 to 15 people, and now if you do your 30% ratio, you're at least doing 3 sales, if not 5 or 6 sales per week, depending on your close ratio. And by the way, if you see more people, you're going to get better. That's just how it works. So if you have 6 appointments, you're seeing 4 people, or you're seeing 10 people, which system do you think is going to get you knowing more products, knowing more case design, more situations faster, right? It's a numbers game. Everything gets better with numbers. So again, that's the difference in buying those expensive leads to our preset system. Warm market. There's not a huge amount of companies still doing this, but there are. If you're with one of those companies, you know who you are. They said, write down your friends and family and go after them. So it's really annoying. So, if you're just going and you're marketing and you're pushing something on somebody because you need to be successful and they feel bad so they do something for you, again, it's annoying, right? So in this system that we've put together for you, you don't need to go after your friends and family, but you can. If they come to you and say, I need help, or you're talking to them at a barbecue or something, and you're talking about something, you can help them out because you're going to have all the best products, especially if you contract with us. You're going to have all the best products to be able to offer them. But you don't need to go after them for survival, right? Because that's just annoying, especially if you're going from one company to the next. The other thing is your warm market dries up, okay? Maybe you have a big market, right? Warm market. But eventually, it's going to dry up. So it could be a month, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. But eventually, it's going to dry up unless you're really, really good at referrals. And hey, if you're in that 10% of agents, then great, right? But the preset system will still work for you because there's other people out there that still need help, and it's a numbers game, okay? So drying up. So then the next step is, and this is usually where agents start to get that failure feeling or their exit feeling where they are going to get out of the business, is when you have to start now resorting back. It's like, what am I going to do? I can't get a hold of anybody else. I went through my warm market. So now it's okay, bang away at the phones, go canvas, business to business, go start buying leads, whatever the case may be. But you're going to go back to the first 2 that we talked about, which is the phone calls, cold calling, buying expensive leads, recycle leads, all those things. So you're going to go back to one of those 2. Again, you can do this, you can do that if you want, or you can have a system where you can get the amount of appointments where you can be successful. It's a proven system that I've done time and time again myself, and I've ran offices. I've gotten offices. Our biggest jump in 1 year was from 800,000 in sales to 2.1 million, and then we went up from there. But I did leave that company because I wanted to bring it to all of you. I wanted to bring it to the rest of the country because there's so many struggling agents out there, and I don't want that to happen anymore. It doesn't have to happen anymore, and that's what my passion is now. After making the money, having the status, getting all these results, now I want to bring those results to each individual agent around the country, making sure that they can utilize this system. Okay, get out of these old systems, utilize this system to get you out there, get in front of people, own your business. This is a business. I don't know if you know that. It's not a 9-to-5 job. It is a business. So own that business, get out from underneath these systems, and be successful. And that's what this is all about. All right, so there's one more thing I want to go over with you before we end this video here is some of the potential things that you may have seen or heard when you're going out to maybe purchase preset appointments if you've done that before. And if you do, it's probably anywhere from $50, $55 or more to actually purchase those appointments. So it's very expensive. And any no-shows you get, you may have to call and reschedule them yourself. So that gets very pricey. Think about that. 10 appointments on presets is $500. If we're looking at the 15 to 20 that we're talking about, that's $750 to $2,000 a week to pay for these appointments. That's very expensive, right? So again, doing it yourself, you minimize that cost to the lowest cost out of all these systems, right? So that's what we want to share with you. But here's the things that you might see. And I'm going to up front tell you that the reason you're seeing these things is because they want you to buy their preset appointments, right? They don't want you to do it yourself. They want you to buy the preset appointments. So they want to make it sound so difficult to do, but it's not. It's not if you have a step-by-step system or process or program to be able to take you through and guide you through that like we have for you. Okay, and I'm doing this for you because I think it's important that you can own a system and be successful and not have to follow these other systems that aren't working for you, right? And you may not have $50 to buy each preset appointment. So some of the things you might hear is the wanted ads for appointment setters. You have to be able to format that whole thing. Look, we did that for you. That's going to be in your package, in your program. You're going to have ads to get appointment setters. All you got to do is copy and paste it. You may have to change a couple things, your company, and maybe if you're in a different market, but it's all laid out for you. You have a template, okay? Copy, paste. The extra time for admin duties. So I spend per appointment setter probably 2 to 3 hours a week on my appointment setter. Okay, it doesn't take that much time to do it. And if you're only working with 1 or 2, it's not going to take you a whole lot of time. Okay, so and it's only going to be to pay them, to make sure that they're in compliance, and maybe to go back and forth with them. You know, if you want to do some incentives. I mean, it doesn't take that much time to manage and do the duties with them, and they actually send you the invoice. So it's not as hard as it's made out to be. And I walk you through how to go through this and how to minimize that time. So the research on the data list or a dialer, right? So the data list, we're going to go through all that in the program so that you're going to see exactly, and this data list company that we're going to use has been great for us, and as far as the information is, it's accurate as I've seen. Okay, so you're going to get accurate information. Information is not always accurate, okay, but you can get pretty close to perfect as far as accuracy. And then the dialer itself. Which dialer? You know what a dialer is, how to format it. That's all in the package. It's daunting if you don't know, but with this package, with the program, step by step, going to go through and you can literally copy and paste what I did on mine, and that's what the videos are going to show you. So I'm going to take you through that. So all this stuff is a step-by-step. There's like 7 videos. It's pretty simple to do. A CRM. So I think it's important as a business owner to have a CRM. So we're gonna cut out that whole research and go through a simple CRM that's very inexpensive, and it's going to work. Okay. So managing your appointment setters day to day. Again, it's going to be 2 to 3 hours a week. It's a matter of maybe messaging them, you know, encouraging them, and listening to some recordings just to make sure they're in compliance. So again, this is not a big deal. Scripts. I have the scripts. Okay, so we already put together the scripts. You may already have a script that you're using. Just upload it, let them use it. But I have scripts in there that have worked for us and that are getting us the results, those 15 to 20 appointments per appointment setter a week. So I got the scripts for you. Okay, and then training appointment setters. Again, that's all in there, and I take you through how to look for appointment setters that are already experienced, that already know how we do what we do, okay, and the insurance and sales and everything else. So this is simple. So I take you through all these things. So it's easy. It's hard if you don't know what to look for, and it took me years to get it going. But because of this program, we take you through it step by step to simplify it. And after 7 videos, okay, 7 videos, it's not that long, not that many hours that you're putting into it. You should be up and running in less than 2 weeks. Okay, so this is what the package is. Okay, you'll see down below, the package is going to be 2 payments of $297. That's less than 1 batch of leads that we showed you. 2 payments for $297. Now here's the deal. If you sign up right now, what we're going to do is this. Okay, this is the guarantee that we're going to provide for you. So with $297, you're going to own the program. And I'm so confident that you're going to be so excited and it's going to change how you run your business. If it's not working for you, don't make the second payment, and we're okay with that. Okay? But I know this is going to be beneficial to you. We're going to help you go through it. We're going to walk you through the process, be there to answer questions. And if you want to sign up for our membership program to be part of that as well, then you'll get help with that even longer. But we get through it. We help you set it up step by step. So you'll be up and running. This will change everything for you. 15 to 20 appointments a week. What is that going to do for your business? What is that going to do for your lifestyle, your family? What is that going to do for your future? Okay, that's what we're looking for, and that's what I know will help you be successful. and you have an unfair advantage because other agents aren't doing this. There's very few that are doing this because they think it's daunting, because there's companies out there saying that it's too hard and putting these things in your head. That's why they're charging $50, right? Because they're doing it, and I've done it. So I'm bringing this to you. I don't want to charge an arm and leg. I want you to be able to make it affordable so that you can be successful and get out of that 90% failure rate, get into that 10, and let's spread that 10 to 30%, 40, 50% success rate. We'll do it together. Thanks for watching. Be sure to sign up today, and I'd like to be part of your journey and your success.